of another installment of King's GridIron Challenge TV and the last installment of the preseason. Okay everyone, this is going to be the last installment of King's GridIron Challenge for the preseason. Last video before the regular season starts this Wednesday with the Denver Broncos hosting the defending Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. What we're going to do is go division by division, recapping the predicted finish, the predicted records, and dive in a little bit to the wild cards and possible playoff scenario matchups. What we will do is start with the Madden division. As predicted in the team videos, we have the Pink Flamingos finishing 9-4 to win the Madden division. We then go ahead and have Monster Boners at 7-6 as the second place runner-up to the Madden division. New York Holy Divers finishing 7-6 in third place, losing on tiebreakers to Monster Boners. And fourth place, Bowman Express. Now this is the predicted finish that we have for the Madden division. As you can see, 2 games separates Pink Flamingos from Monster Boners and Holy Divers. During their head-to-head matchups, possibly Boners or Divers beats Pink Flamingos. They could then have identical 8-5 records. 1 game separates technically the second and third team from the first team if it's a head-to-head matchup. So the Madden division looks to be a very competitive division this year, with the remaining Madden division from the last season and the 3 newcomers, Boners, Divers, and Express. Second division that we have is the Hallis division, and we do go ahead and predict C-Bob winning the Hallis division with an 11-2 record, almost a runaway in that division. Pimp Daddy, a respectable 8-5 second place, pushing strongly for a wild card. The Bloody Sundays at 6-7, and Eda Vic 4-9 round out the Hallis division. Moving right along to the Landry division, we have, in a close race, the Imperial Force at 10-3, winning the Landry division. Tyler's Boys at 9-4, 1 game behind the Imperial Force for the Landry division. And both at 4-9, we have Laces Out Dan and Team Destiny round out the Landry division. It looks to be a very close race from beginning to end between Tyler's Boys and the Imperial Force for the Landry division title. Whoever does not win the title out of those 2 will probably most likely finish a strong high wild card seed. So both of those teams are looking good for 2013. Finishing up, we have the Walsh division. We have Horsecock Sandwiches at 11-2, predicted to win the Walsh division. C Unit coming around at a 10-3 season, second place in the Walsh division, but earning a wild card berth. Big Blue was actually 22s, but we're just going with Big Blue in this scenario. At 6-7, third place. And rounding out the Walsh division will be Hawkward 2 at 4-9. Now these are all just predictions. We never know what's going to happen in the season. But these are the league's projected finishes for all 4 divisions, all 16 teams and records. Going through a little closer, the Pink Flamingos predicted to win the Madden division. C-Bob predicted to win the Hallis division. Imperial Force predicted to win the Landry division. And Horsecock Sandwiches predicted to win the Walsh division. Those would be 4 playoff teams, as they would all win their division. We all know the playoff teams, first 4 making it in would be the division winners. Then we have 4 wild cards. Under these projected records and scenarios, the number 1 wild card team would be C Unit at a 10-3 record. followed by Tyler's Boys at a 9-4 record, followed by Pimp Daddy at an 8-5 record for the number 7 seed, leaving two 7-6 teams, Monster Boners and New York Holy Divers, at 7-6. We are going to predict Monster Boners wins that on tiebreakers and points, making him the number 8 playoff contender. As you can see, New York Holy Divers at a 7-6 record is 1 game out from Monster Boners. Bowman Express at 6-7 is a game behind Monster Boners. The Bloody Sundays, 1 game behind Monster Boners, as well as Big Blue at 6-7, a game behind Monster Boners. A loss by Monster Boners and a win by a couple of these teams could put any of those teams into that final playoff spot. Possibly a few losses by Pimp Daddy and a few wins by another team could push Pimp Daddy out of the playoffs completely and put in another team. Circles note the division winners. Squares, predicted wild card winners. The 4 lines are the predicted on the bubble teams looking at that last wild card berth. So those are the projected finishes, records for the 2013 season. We're going to go ahead and get in this a little further. Over the off season, I will go ahead and do my best to work on PowerPoints. For the meantime, though, we will go with written and printed projections. As you all can see, under these scenarios, Horsecock Sandwiches would finish the number 1 team in the league. Number 2 would be C-Bob. Number 3, the Imperial Force. And number 4, C-Unit. As the playoffs go, C-Unit will be number 4, having an overall better record than Madden Division winner Pink Flamingos, as well as Tyler's Boys having an overall better record than Pink Flamingos, making him number 5 overall. Pink Flamingos would be number 6, Pimp Daddy 7, and Monster Boners number 8. This would be the predicted first round of our playoffs under these scenarios and projections. We're going to go through and say round 1 would end up like this. Horsecock Sandwiches advancing over Monster Boners. C-Unit advancing over Tyler's Boys. C-Bob advancing over Pimp Daddy. And the Force advancing over the Pink Flamingos. No upsets predicted for round 1 under these scenarios. Semi-final games, Horsecock Sandwiches versus C-Unit. That would be a third matchup between these two this year, as would C-Bob and Pimp Daddy in the first round. Projections would be C-Unit over Horsecock Sandwiches, and C-Bob advancing over the Imperial Force. Their matchups in Week 15 just look to be stronger than their opponents, and that is the basis on the predictions that we're going with. Championship title game would pick 2009 winner C-Unit versus 2008 winner C-Bob. Cousins in the title game, meaning one of these two teams under these projected scenarios would win their second ever King's GridIron Challenge Championship and have their place alongside Pink Flamingos as the only 2-time champions that this league has ever seen. And in predicted championship game of C-Unit versus C-Bob, with their current team rosters as is, and the Week 16 matchups that their players would have, we are predicting the 2013 King's GridIron Challenge champion to be C-Bob. with his team, his division, and his matchups. We are predicting from best draft class, which Yahoo sets up as the team with the most points projected right after our draft, all the way through the regular season, through the second season, our playoffs, and on to the championship game. C-Bob running the table, first place to first place in a championship. We now see if he can live up to those predictions. He's got a team that can do it. Out of the 8 playoff teams, there are 4 to 5 strong title contenders, with a few other teams in good contention to make a deep playoff run. This, though, is to projections. 2013 season starts Wednesday. I hope you're all ready. It will be another exciting season in the King's Gridiron Challenge Year X.